everybody. I'm Grae Drake. I'm a proud member of the Critics' Choice Association, and this is our latest episode of In Conversation, featuring the movie Weapons, in what is sure to be our creepiest episode yet, with writer-director Zach Cregger, and the woman at the center of it all, our Aunt Gladys, Amy Madigan. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Let's just start it off with one word. Yikes.
Hey, that's good.
All right.
I think that's positive.
Yeah.
It is
Okay,
absolutely positive. Since Amy, Warner Brothers wisely kept you from us when we were initially doing press for the movie, so it's really exciting to be able to chat with you right now. I'd like to start just by talking about creating Gladys from the ground up. So, Zach, can you even talk about what vision did you have in your head when you were writing the character? Was it what we saw on film?
You know, I'm going to be really honest. It's difficult for me now to think back on the time before Amy, because when Amy came into my life and took this role over, it was so like clear and perfect that like whatever mirage I had in my head in the before time is kind of obliterated. So I kind of can't really separate it. You know, it's all Amy now. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, the only thing I can really remember clearly from the before time was this Twin Peaks woman with the kind of crazy duck walk and the boutonniere and the pilot episode and the big,
Right.
like that's all I got. That's the only thing I got. Other than that, it's this.
Yeah, and I think that this is such a great example of just that magic moment in casting when you have created this vivid character and you've clearly found the perfect performer to marry the two of them together. Amy, when you first read this, did you just feel like a kind of a wild jolt of electricity, or were you terrified? Both, none, which?
I was not terrified. I was like, this is a cool woman. This is a great script. This you could really just grab this by the throat. So that's how it felt to me. And then, it's all really coming from Zach's brain and his imagination, but we did create it together. He was always very clear things he liked and didn't, but we had such an extraordinary team just starting from
Yeah.
the beginning, hair and makeup and special effects and our, just everybody in the costumes. I mean, it's just all came together, and that was really fun because I haven't done anything like that in really a long time. So, yeah, I was I was scared just as, oh, I hope I can pull this off. But, I just really, really thought I would like to have a relationship with Gladys.
Are you ready for everyone to dress up as Gladys for Halloween?
What's kind of funny about that is that one day I came, excuse me, into the makeup trailer, who you see these people, as you know, first thing. And everybody kind of had their version of Gladys going on. And I was like, oh, look at you guys. This is hilarious. You all look really good, too, as a matter of fact. And then when I walked on the set sometime later, the crew was dressed up as Gladys. And everybody had their own interpretation. Somebody had put a mop on their head that was red, and people were very, very conscious of what kind of brooch they were going to wear and their makeup. So I was totally surprised, and it just showed you, I think, how much people are into Gladys.
Yeah.
Totally. Zach, do you remember that day on set? Like what?
I do. Because my cinematographer looked especially off-putting, and yeah, I remember it well. But what's fun about that day is like, Gladys is such a striking visual character that I see all these people online dressed up as her, and a lot of them are just loosely wearing the costume, but it's still instantly recognizable as Gladys. It's like you get the bangs, you get the glasses, you get the crazy colors, and you're there. You don't really need to get the pitch perfect stuff,
Well, Halloween, I bet people are going to dress up, and I'm like, of course, oh, yeah, I don't know, you guys are jumping ahead. And then we started thinking about, well, maybe we could cash in on this. Maybe we get like $1 for every wig that is sold. Obviously, we didn't get on that train, so here we are.
Gladys is a vibe,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what people are really attaching to. Was it always kind of that iconic red right from the beginning, or was there a look for Gladys that got left behind?
Well, I knew she needed to have big, bright red hair, but the shape of the hair was something we kind of discovered together. I didn't know what the hair was going to exactly be. You remember that, Amy? Like when we
Oh, I
found the
remember it
bangs?
vividly.
Yeah.
And Eliza West, who is our hair creator, we tried on a lot of wigs and a lot of different shades of red, and should it be longer or short? You know, a normal process. But I think kind of when we found the color and those bangs really kind of make
The bangs were the thing. The bangs were and then we found that the higher that the wig rode, the more kind of cranium we saw, like the more off-putting it was.
It's
And
very
I gotta say, it was a really amazing day for us when we did the camera test, because Amy, I don't know if you remember, but you came in. It was the first time I really saw you with all the prosthetics and the wig and the clothes and everything, and you had I think you had a bag, if
Yes.
I'm correct, and you sat in the chair and you were in character. And I cried. I was, while we were shooting the test, I was crying, because it was just like, it was so, I just knew in that moment, like I kind of knew when I met Amy, it was going to be fine. It was going to be great. But in that moment, when I saw her kind of come in character, it was like seeing something from your mind just standing truly in front of you and being better than you ever could have imagined. Even the technicians that were working the lights that day, they were creeped out. Like, well, the dude Mike that was to my left, he was
Yeah,
just,
I remember Mike.
he couldn't even look at you. He like took a step back and he was like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It was great. I was like, we are cooking with gas, dude.
I love it. I mean, this is such a great time for horror, and it's not easy for a character to sort of instantly ascend to that iconic status. And I mean, Gladys is there. Like, we want more Gladys, we want a prequel, we want everything that we can get. And one of the
Children of Gladys.
Oh God.
Oh my God, from your mouth to
Yes.
somebody's ears, Zach's ears. Zach, one thing that we haven't talked about yet is the score for this movie. Can you talk about how the score really supports the creepiness of Gladys? Is like very much in service to the character. It's upsetting.
Yeah, well, for Gladys's big entrance, you see Gladys early in the movie in flashes, but you don't really see Gladys until you're like an hour and a half into the movie. I mean, it's really close to the end, and she's the most important big character, and we really delayed it. And so that moment where she walks down the hallway in Marcus's office and steps through the door, it's like, okay, what is it going to be? How are we going to support her musically for this? And I tried a lot of things, but I kind of decided, like, midway through the edit, like, I think that I'm gonna steal from David Lynch from Twin Peaks, which is kind of that visual thing. And I just played like a Rhodes, and I just did like one chord on the Rhodes, which is like what he used in Twin Peaks. Angelo Badalamenti used in Twin Peaks all the time. And it was just like a very similar little Twin Peaks, and it just felt like that's so perfect. And so that kind of became, for me, Gladys's little theme is just like a little Twin Peaksy kind of just one little minor chord. And that's what happens when she like walks out of the house after she's killed them and gets in the car. And it just felt correct.
It comes off that way too, and is always it's chilling the way that it should be. And there are so many things from the movie in terms of effects, or whether they be CG or practical, that I also wanted to ask about. So one of the things I didn't mention up top is, if you're watching this, we are going to include some spoiler stuff. So if you haven't seen Weapons yet, make sure you hit pause. But Amy, what is it like to be torn apart by children?
You know what? There was so much leading up to that. And when we had talked about it, Zach was like, well, this is what's going to happen. And I had been spending a lot of time with this group of kids. But that particular day, I remember it was kind of like, okay, touch my ears and you can pull this. And, a couple of kids were that reality. And then once they started, they were all over it. And I was very proud of myself. I did all the running till I get tackled. My stunt person did the tackle.
Yeah.
It's not going to break my nose. But I was up for it, but I thought maybe I better not.
But she ran through all those houses, all those yards. I mean, that crazy shot of the girl chasing her through the house, that's Amy. Yeah, it was crazy.
That was,
and I wasn't cool. I remember I was not going to let you do it.
I know. I remember that, dude.
Yeah.
And Zach kind of at one point very quietly said, we have a stunt double over here, and what do you think? I said, oh, I'm doing it. And then he said, well, no, are you sure? And I went, I'm doing it. And that was it.
Yeah, it was clear. It was clear this was not a conversation. This is how it's going to be. And I was like, okay.
Scenes like that always make me think like if I was sitting in my kitchen and just someone just runs through the house.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's so disorienting. You know, she's running through the house. It's this long shot and you're following children through windows.
Hmm.
Like, are those stunt people with no window in there?
Yeah, so we use like for the window into the front yard, there are muttons and mullions, which is the wooden cross sections, but the glass is VFX because and then the screen door is real, but the sliding glass door is a VFX thing. So it's kind of a combination, but we try to use as little VFX as possible.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Amy, can you talk about how Gladys sort of plays into your history in like your previous work?
Gladys has a lot of physical humor, and I kind of come from that place just growing up and being the obnoxious person that I was, still am. And so the physical side of Gladys and just everything she does, and how she kind of has her hands in her pocketbook, that just played into it because I think of things that I did, and they all kind of have, like Uncle Buck had physical humor, and Field of Dreams had physical humor, and other things I've done and in theater. So that was kind of a big connect for me, and that really worked for me. And we all have those those sides to it. It's just like if someone's really going to mess with me, I can laser in on them.
I remember when we had lunch at Taverna Tony, and
Yes.
we sat down, and probably 3 to 5 minutes into the conversation, we were just talking about Gladys, and you were like, oh, I think she's, and you're kind of doing your peppy thing, and then you went, but she's also, and you like, I saw you laser in. Laser is the perfect word. It's like this still precise focus. And in that moment, I just knew. I was like, okay, here, this is it. Like, I don't need to keep looking.
What's the thing that you're proudest of that stayed with you, as we've moved on from this initial release? What stays with you?
Well, honestly, Amy's performance is probably like the thing I feel like really, really proud that I had an idea, and through a collaboration, that idea was able to be so much better than I'd ever dreamed, And so I just think that's so rare, and I'm just really proud of the whole team, and of Trish, and of Jason, and of Meliza, and I don't know. It's just like sometimes it just all fits, and we should all be so lucky for it to fit this well, and I hope I get to experience this again. It was
Yeah.
great.
It really did. I guess it was sometimes, it was a great cast and crew and everybody got along, but it's true. And
Yeah.
everybody was like, okay, we're just gonna go for this. We're just gonna do it. And the characters are all very different. But what makes me the happiest is that people really got the film. They loved the chapters in the film, and many people have talked to me about your conscious effort of doing that and how smart that was and how it really engaged them and made them kind of, for that term that we use, lean in and
Mm.
wait a minute, well, I didn't see that angle before. What's going on? And the film works. And I felt it would when I was reading it, but I didn't know. Then once we were
Yeah.
together and started working together with Zach and I was like, oh yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
And it's such a transformation on your part. I had to wait to see your name in the credits to even figure out who it was.
Oh, that's so gratifying.
It's sensational and also really refreshing and wonderful to see a movie that demanded to be seen in theaters, sharing that experience,
Right.
featuring an original story. It's really exciting on behalf of all of us critics just to see that it's very rare, and when it works so well, it's very memorable.
Mm.
I
So
think there's a
Thank you. Thanks
renaissance
for
with
saying
like
that.
original material. People want to see it. You know what I mean? If you're in a certain genre, so be it. But people want to be surprised and they want to delve into a concept, but it's done in a very different way. I think people are ready for that.
yeah, and it's even better now that people have access to it through streaming, so they can see it for a second, third, or like me, a fourth time. Uh, and thank you both so much for joining me today. This episode of In Conversation is like hands down my favorite to have been a part of, because I've been obsessed with this movie all year long, and just I really appreciate all the factoids and things that you keep sharing from this, and hopefully we'll get to talk even one more time. Why not?
I would love it. I would love it, Grae.
Pretty
Thank
cool.
you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys so much. And Zach, thank you. It's so great to see your face.
It's good to see you too. I miss you, Amy. I hope I see you when I get back.
Yeah. You will. You will.
Okay.